Burn the bridge behind you. Set fire to everything that gave you comfort in your weakness. The old version of you is dead weight. It survives only because you let it. This isn't about changing. This is about transforming, about erasing the man or woman who made excuses, who accepted average, who waited for motivation. There is no more waiting. There is no more turning back. The old you is a lie. It dies today. From the second your eyes open, you win or you lose. Dominate the morning, control it, or be controlled. Success doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It respects one thing: action. That first hour must be sacred. It must belong to discipline, to the grind, to the silence where legends are born. No phone, no scrolling, just purpose, pain, and power. Get your mind right before the world touches you. Move with purpose. Every step you take is either forward or backward. There's no standing still. There's no coasting. The man or woman you're becoming doesn't flinch, doesn't hesitate, and doesn't ask for permission. You're here to execute. You're here to rise. Every decision must serve the highest version of you. If it doesn't, kill it. If it slows you down, cut it. If it weakens you, walk away from it. The old voice in your head will come back. It'll whisper comfort. It'll beg you to stay small. Silence it with truth, your truth. Speak the new identity out loud. You are focused. You are relentless. You are not who you used to be. And every time doubt shows up, remind it you've changed. Then back it up with action so ruthless, the old voice disappears in your dust. You must sacrifice. Not once, not for a week, but daily. Weakness has to die. Comfort must be rejected. Every distraction is a trap. Your phone, your fears, your fake friends. If it doesn't feed the beast you're building, it doesn't belong. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's where greatness is carved. The old you looked for ease. The new you thrives in resistance. This is a war, not with the world, not with your boss, not with society. It's with yourself. The inner enemy must be outworked every damn day. Because that's the voice that tells you to snooze, to settle, to stop. You beat it by showing up stronger, louder, harder. No excuses, no mercy. Discipline is the sword. Repetition is the armor. And purpose is the fire that keeps you moving. Kill the old you, not with words, but with action, with early mornings, with late nights, with unstoppable focus, with the grind no one sees, and the results they can't ignore. That's how you bury weakness. That's how you kill fear. That's how you become undeniable. So don't wait. Watch this daily. Remember who you were, then kill it again and again, until all that's left is power. Burn the bridge behind you and never look back, because the version of you that hesitated, that doubted, that made excuses has already had its time and wasted it. All that identity must be destroyed without mercy, because there's no evolution without elimination, there's no rebirth without death, and the old you is the enemy, the one who hit, snooze, the one who settled, the one who let fear speak louder than ambition. It's not your friend, it's not your protector, it's your prison, and if you want to rise, you better light that bridge up with every ounce of fire in your soul. Because the only way forward is to make retreat impossible. You've lived too long in the shadow of your own hesitation, telling yourself you'll start tomorrow, telling yourself you're not ready, as if your potential is something that needs permission, as if success is going to wait patiently while you figure it out. Burn the bridge where you let others define your worth. Burn the bridge where you listen to critics instead of your conviction. Burn the bridge where you traded your vision for validation from people who don't even believe in themselves. And when that fire starts, don't you dare look back, because what's behind you is dead weight, and it will drown you if you let it. This is not about motivation. This is about war. And you are either killing the old you or you are being killed by it. Every single day the battle begins. The moment your eyes open, the moment your mind starts talking, the question is whose? Voice will be louder. The new you, or the old script, the one that's been running your life like a virus, making you play small. Stay safe and hide behind potential, like it's some trophy instead of a curse, because potential without execution is. The graveyard of greatness, and the old you is comfortable in the grave, so burn it all. The comfort, the compromise, the stories that told you to wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now, the power is now, the new you is not found in wishing it's forged in fire and discomfort and relentless discipline, and the old you doesn't want that. The old you wants rest when you haven't earned it. The perfect old you wants pleasure without pain, rewards without risk. It wants everything you say you want, but without the price tag. And that's why it has to die, because what you want is going to require everything soft to be stripped from you, everything fake to be exposed, everything weak to be replaced. And that won't happen if you keep carrying the old you into every new chapter and wondering why nothing changes. You can't build the future while dragging the past. The old patterns will poison new paths. If you let them, the old mindset will sabotage every opportunity you're given. You can't keep negotiating with your limits. You can't keep justifying from your stagnation. You either kill the old self, or you stay stuck in the cycle of almost achieving, almost changing, almost breaking through, but never fully becoming the person you were meant to be, because you gave the old you too much room, too much time, too much voice, too much of your life. And now it's time to take it all back with aggression, with precision, with total and complete destruction of every habit that holds you hostage. You don't need another plan. You need to commit to the one that already exists inside you, but it only activates when the old you is no longer welcome, when you stop entertaining weakness, like it's an option when you stop calling your comfort zone a lifestyle, and start calling it what it is, a cage. And you are not meant to live caged. You are not meant to repeat cycles. You are not meant to live in loops of regret and hesitation and waiting for motivation like it's some kind of savior. You are the fire. You are the storm. And it all begins when you stop giving yourself a way out and decide once and for all to burn the bridge. Dominate the morning, or the morning will dominate you, because the first hour is not just a part of the day. It is the foundation of everything that follows it, is where momentum is either built or broken. It's where winners separate from the weak, where the hungry rise and the tired roll over. And if you don't take command of that hour with intention, with power, with precision, then you've already surrendered before the world even touched you. And that's why every single morning must become sacred. It must become non-negotiable. It must become a battlefield where you either sharpen your edge or let it rust away. You don't wake up for comfort. You wake up for war. You wake up to remind yourself that you are not average. You wake up to kill hesitation before it finds a voice, because once you let that voice speak, it will convince you to delay it. Will convince you to settle. It will convince you to crawl through life while greatness waits in frustration. And you were not built to crawl. You were built to rise. And the only way to rise is to take that first hour and make it yours completely. Absolutely, without distraction, without negotiation, without compromise. Because the world doesn't care how you feel. When you wake up, it only respects what you do. The moment your eyes open, the war begins, and the first decision you make will either feed the beast or feed the old you, the one that keeps dragging you back into mediocrity, the one that hits snooze, the one that checks the phone, the one that gets up late and wonders why life keeps slipping through their fingers. The morning is the mirror, and it will reflect exactly who you are every day. Whether you like it or not, it will show your priorities, it will expose your discipline, it will broadcast your hunger. And if that reflection makes you uncomfortable, then good, because discomfort is the spark that ignites transformation, and you cannot dominate anything until you decide to get uncomfortable on purpose. While the world sleeps, you must rise. While others stall, you must strike. While they talk about change, you become it with every rep, every page, every second of silence that shapes your mind before the noise of the world can even get to you. You must armor your mind in discipline and clarity before chaos has a chance to knock. Because once you walk into the world, the distractions will come, the lies will come, the temptations will come, and if you are not ready, if your foundation is weak, if your morning is lazy, then your whole day will be soft, and soft does not win. You must move before the excuses can speak. You must sweat before the weakness wakes up. You must read before the world programs your mind, because every morning is a test and every day is a race, and how you start determines how you finish. So train early, push early, focus early, because success is earned when no one's watching, when it's still dark, when the streets are quiet, and that's where the giants are made. Not in the spotlight, but in the silence. Not when it's easy, but when no one else wants it bad enough to get out of bed while comfort sings lullabies. You've got to be the one that chooses pain over peace, progress over pleasure, mission over mood, because you're not here to feel good. You're here to grow. You will not master the day until you master the morning. You will not evolve until you attack the start of each day with violence toward the old self, the lazy self, the weak self, the tired self, and you do it with fire in your chest and vision in your blood, and your routine is the weapon. Your discipline is the shield, and your intention is the sword that cuts through every excuse you've ever told yourself, and you use that hour to breathe life into the person. You're building the one, the old. You never had the strength to become the one who dominates, because domination is a choice made before the sun rises. Move with purpose or be moved by pressure, because if you don't choose the direction of your life, someone else will, and their aim will never be your greatness. Their agenda will never serve your vision. Their plan will never include your highest self. So you must wake up and move with fire, move with focus, move like your time is currency, and you're done wasting it on things that don't feed your destiny, because every second matters, every step must count, and every action must. Speak loud and clear about who you are becoming, and if your movement doesn't scare your comfort, then it's not movement, it's drifting. Too many people walk through life like it's a rehearsal, like they'll get another shot at this day, like opportunity is waiting patiently for them to finally show up and go all in, but life doesn't wait, life moves, and if you're not moving with purpose, you're being left behind by the version of you that could have been the one, that should have been the one you talk about in quiet moments when no one's listening. But you can feel the regret rising, and the truth is, if you're not obsessed with aligning every action with your mission, then you're playing small. And small doesn't survive in a world that demands power. Every breath is a choice, and that choice either builds or breaks. And the reason most people never change is because they move out of routine, not out of resolve. They go through motions but never create momentum. They're busy but not building. They're active but not advancing, and they wonder why life stays the same while the days disappear and the dreams fade. But purpose isn't a feeling, it's a decision, it's a code. It's the internal fire that says, I will not move without reason. I will not waste my steps. I will not live as a reaction to the world. I will shape it. You don't need more motivation. You need movement that matters, movement that creates shifts, movement that leaves no room for confusion about who you are and what you're here to do. Because when your actions are aligned with your core, there is no burnout. There is only becoming, and the ones who move with purpose don't get tired of the process. They get addicted to progress. Addicted to knowing that every hour they grind, every choice they make, every battle they fight is a better piece of the legacy they're building. And if it doesn't add to the mission, it gets removed without apology. Your energy is your currency, your time is your power, and your purpose is the filter through which all decisions must pass, because distractions are not just harmless detours, they are assassins dressed as options. Every yes to what doesn't serve you is a no to the future. That could have been, and the truth most people run from is that discipline is love, and clarity is freedom, and movement without meaning is chaos. And chaos is where dreams drown in silence. So walk like you mean it, speak like you mean It acts like the world is watching, and your future self is begging you not to break. You were not built to wander through life waiting for the perfect path. You were built to burn through obstacles with the force of someone who knows exactly where they're going and doesn't care how many times they get knocked down on the way. Because every time you move with purpose, your past loses power. Every time you step with conviction, your future gets louder and the old voices get quieter, and soon they disappear. And all that's left is you fully awake, fully aware, fully locked in on a mission so real that nothing else feels right anymore, because the wrong life starts to taste bitter when you've had one bite of the right one. The ones who move with purpose don't ask for permission. They don't chase approval. They don't seek comfort. They build, they cut, they focus, and they don't slow down. For anyone who doesn't understand the urgency of now, because they know that life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you demand, and purpose is the force that makes that demand non-negotiable, undeniable, unshakable, and once you find it, you protect it with everything you've got, and you move with it, like your life depends on it, because it does. Silence the old voice before it. Silences you, because that whisper in your mind is not harmless. It is a thief. It steals your momentum, your courage, your identity. It sounds like reason, but it's rooted in fear. It sounds like safety, but it's built on chains. It will wear your face, use your voice, speak your language, and tell you to slow down, to settle, to play it safe. And if you don't crush it with conviction, it will guide you right back to the life you swore you were done living. Because that voice isn't just noise. It's the echo of your former self trying to survive in a mind that no longer belongs to it. Every time you level up, that old voice will rise up. Every time you stretch outside your limits, it will panic and scream and pretend it's protecting you, but it's lying. It's protecting its survival, not your growth. It wants you to stay in the same cycles, with the same habits, chasing the same mediocre results. It fears your evolution because the moment you break through, it dies, and it knows that. So it fights dirty, it speaks in guilt, it hides in logic, it wraps itself in memories of failure and tells you that you can't, that you shouldn't, that you're not enough. But you are, and you know it, and the only way to prove it is through action, so loud it drowns out every word that old voice dares to speak. You don't need to argue with it, you need to replace it, because you don't beat the old self with conversation. You beat it with execution, you beat it with discipline, you beat it with repetition that rewires your mind and builds a new identity brick by brick by brick until the old one can't find a place to live anymore, because the truth is that voice isn't real. It's just the soundtrack of your past playing on loop, and the moment you stop feeding it with attention, it starts to die. And the silence that comes after is not emptiness, it's clarity. And in that clarity you'll find the voice that was buried under the noise, the voice of who you really are. You must be louder than your fear, more focused than your doubt, and more relentless than your past. Because every time you move forward, that old identity will try to pull you back, and it won't come with warnings. It will come disguised as procrastination, disguised as comfort, disguised as logic. And if you're not ruthless, it will drag you into another week, another month, another year of delay, of regret, of watching other people do what you know you could do. If only you had silenced that voice and moved anyway, because progress doesn't. It requires permission. It requires defiance. Defiance against the parts of you that refuse to grow. You must rewire the script with intention. You must wake up and speak truth into your mind before the old story starts again. You must tell yourself who you are before the past tells you who you were. You must declare it. You must repeat it. You must believe it so deeply that no voice, no person, no memory can make you forget it again. And you don't wait until you feel like it. You do it now, because that old voice will wait for you to get tired and then try to reclaim the throne in your mind. But this time, you don't surrender, you don't slow down. You rise up and speak with fire until the old voice breaks and flees. You are not weak, you are not small, you are not stuck, you are simply conditioned. And conditioning can be broken, can be rewritten, can be rebuilt, and it starts with awareness. It starts with replacing every lie with a weapon of truth, fear with a force of action, every whisper of doubt with a roar of certainty, because you were never meant to live quiet. You were never meant to shrink and hide and apologize for existing. You were meant to walk with thunder, and when you do, that voice can't survive in your presence anymore because it's powerless against someone who knows who they are and lives like it every single day. Sacrifice weakness before it sacrifices everything you could become, because weakness is not just an obstacle, it's an infection. And if you let it live, it will spread into every area of your life until your ambition turns into excuses. Your drive turns into delay, and your greatness turns into guilt. It starts small. It always does. One skipped rep, one lazy choice, one compromise, and before you know it, you're back in the life you swore you were done with, talking like a warrior, but moving like a ghost. Weakness isn't something you manage. It's something you eliminate completely and without mercy, because your future has no room for softness. You can't carry weakness and expect to walk strong. It will weigh you down. It will whisper lies. It will make comfort look like reward and struggle look like failure. But you know the truth. You know the price of power, and it isn't peace. It's pain. It's pressure. It's doing the work when nobody claps, when nobody sees, when nobody cares except you. And if you're not willing to pay that price, then you don't get to complain about the results, because results don't come to the talented. They come to the relentless, the disciplined, the savage ones who sacrifice the easy life for the one they were born to live. The weak version of you loves comfort, loves delay, loves distractions, but you weren't built for any of that. You were built for precision, built for progress, built for war. And every time you choose the hard thing, every time you say no to the old habits, every time you wake up and do what has to be done, even when your body screams to stop, you are killing the weakness inside you and replacing it with fire and grit and identity, because true strength isn't a trait, it's a decision, a daily choice to sacrifice what feels good now for what's necessary to become unstoppable later. Stop trying to negotiate with the part of you that's holding you back. You don't negotiate with limits, you destroy them. And every weakness in your life is something you've allowed, something you've tolerated, something you've made excuses for. And the longer you protect it, the more it takes from you, the more it robs you of time, of pride, of potential. And if you won't sacrifice your weakness, you will sacrifice your future. And that is the truth. No one wants to say, because it's easier to blame than bleed. It's easier to wish than work. It's easier to talk about purpose than to actually pursue it with the type of obsession that requires you to burn the bridge to every weak version of yourself that ever existed. This is the moment you stop carrying softness like it's a personality trait and start treating it like the threat it is, because weakness will make you doubt yourself when it's time to speak. Weakness will make you flinch when it's time to strike. Weakness will have you shrinking in rooms you were built to dominate, and it must be sacrificed daily, not once, not twice, but every single day you wake up and decide who you are going to be. You either feed the beast or you feed the burden. And the longer you carry weakness, the heavier your life becomes. Pain is temporary, but weakness is a choice. And every time you avoid the pain, you reinforce the weakness. Every time you let yourself off the hook, you give power to the version of you that's trying to keep you average. And average is not where you belong. Not mentally, not physically, not spiritually. You were made for more, and more only comes to the one who's willing to suffer for it, bleed for it, fight for it, become obsessed with it, and give up every weak part of themselves to reach it. Because strength isn't given, it's earned through the sacrifice of everything that doesn't serve who you are becoming. You don't just want success, you want to deserve it. You want to look in the mirror and know you paid full price with blood and sweat and silence and focus and discipline, and no one handed it to you because no one needed to. You became what? was necessary, and you never looked back. You buried the old version. You left the weakness in the grave, and you rose with something stronger, something sharper, something permanent, something no one can take from you because you built it from the sacrifice they were too scared to make. Kill the old you every single day, because if you don't, it will crawl back dressed in routine, smiling with comfort, dragging your greatness back into mediocrity, and you won't even see it happening until it's already stolen your edge again. And you're wondering why everything feels off, why the fire's gone, why the progress stopped, but it's because you left the door open and the old you never dies. Easy, it waits, it watches, it whispers, and if you don't stay violent with your growth, it will find a way back. So this is not about hype. This is not about motivation. This is about war. It's about discipline. It's about killing the weak voice every morning before it speaks, killing the comfort before it grows, killing the patterns that kept you small for too long, and becoming the version of you that you respect in silence, the one you'd follow into the storm, the one who doesn't ask for strength because they've built it with every sacrifice, every rep, every hard choice, and every hour of focus when the world chose ease. This is not a phase. This is a lifestyle. This is who you are now. So don't break, don't bend, don't wait, don't explain. Just move, train, rise, execute, become, because the old you is not just your past. It's your enemy. And your future depends on how violently you're willing to destroy it.